Hi friends, welcome to Vermont Stitchy Co. Flosstube number 3. It is February 19th, 2025. This is my second attempt at a video because it seems like nothing goes right. So here we go, let's try. My name is Chelsea. I am the owner, creator, and designer of Vermont Stitchy Co. here in southern Vermont. And this is my Flosstube channel talking about my journey in cross stitching, maybe a little bit of quilting, but also being an Etsy shop owner and figuring out this world of Flosstube. I am very new. As I said in my first video, I'm an introvert, so this is very difficult for me to step out of my comfort zone, but it's a goal that I had for this new year, and I'm trying and I'm doing it. So for those of you who are returning, I wanted to just take a moment to say thank you. For those of you who have subscribed or even just viewed my videos, I really appreciate it. I honestly didn't think I would get more than 1 or 2 people to view, because I think I'm not alone in saying, sometimes with all this social media, it's a little bit like, well, why would anyone want to hear what I have to say? I'm not anything important, or I'm not anything special. At least that's what we tell ourselves, right? That internal voice, and that's part of my goal of 2025 is to make that voice small. And so I want to just take a minute to tell you all, the subscribers and those who have come back to watch my videos, thank you. I really appreciate it. It makes me want to continue to put out content for you all so that my community can grow, and I hope I can reach more people and more people can chat with me, and so thank you so much. And if you're new, I want to say thank you as well for stepping in, taking the time to listen to what I have to say. I really appreciate it. I know there's so much on social media right now, and especially on YouTube, so to take the time to even stop and listen, that's not unnoticed. I really appreciate it. So like I said before, I'm Chelsea. I own Vermont Stitchy Co. I wanted to talk a little bit about my Etsy shop and the patterns. First and foremost, I want to make it really clear there is no obligation when you're on here to buy any of my Etsy shop patterns, but they are PDF patterns. But I have no expectations that any of you would ever buy anything. This is just something that I want to do, that I want to put out there. If you like my stuff, great. If you look at it, great. If you buy it, awesome. But there's no obligation. But I wanted to tell you about my PDF patterns. They are 100% in color. I found a program that, from the very start, everything is in 100% color, but I found a program that offers in color as well as symbols overlaid, so that if you have any colorblind issues or vision issues, you can still work on my patterns without any problems. I don't know about you, but for me, I like color in terms of following instructions. I find that my brain works better that way. So having a color pattern, it was something that I really wanted. So I make sure I have those for you to use. And they are PDFs, which means you can look at them on a phone, on a tablet, or on a computer. A TV too, I guess, if you had it hooked up somehow, but you can also print out my patterns and then use them that way. So there are a few options there, but I don't have the ability to go to a printer and mass produce them so that I could sell hard copies. I just don't have that ability right now. Perhaps one day I will, but it's just not something I have. I also really like the idea of trying to save as many trees as possible and using a computer. And then if you choose to print it out, that would be something that you could do at home for yourself if you want it. But yeah, so I design everything myself. Normally I have paper that I very badly draw my ideas on, and then I take those ideas and put them into the program myself. There's no AI involved. There's no third party. I'm not taking images off of, the internet and then putting them into the program. I do it all myself. I'm sitting there coloring in each square, figuring out the pattern, taking a step back, looking at it, going, well, it doesn't really look like a cow or whatever it is I'm trying to make, and then I turn them into PDFs myself. So there's nobody else doing it, it's just me. Okay, let's go to a quick life update. In my second video, I don't know if you could tell, but I was getting over a very bad cold that my husband gave me, and then also because we've been getting so much snow, I'm the main shoveler, even though we live in a condo complex and there are plows, but plows don't come all the time or on a regular basis. I mean, this is Vermont, so there are a lot of people who live in rural areas and plows get stuck and there aren't always paved roads. We have a lot of dirt roads around here in Vermont, so the plows just don't always come. And so I've been out there shoveling, and I hurt my low back. Somehow I couldn't even touch my knees, and I'm a short person. My knees aren't not that far from where my arms are, and I couldn't touch my knees, but now I can touch my toes. I'm doing stretches multiple times a day, and it seems to be getting better, but there is still that feeling of wanting to crack, when you have like a knuckle and you're trying to crack it and it won't crack, and it's got that tension and you just want it to crack but it won't. It's kind of what it feels like right now, but otherwise I can move, I can bend, I'm okay. I can even shovel. Yeah, like I said, we got about a foot of snow over the weekend. I was out there shoveling, really high winds, 35-mile-an-hour winds. The trees were almost sideways, lots of branches coming down, but my car is okay, my husband's car is okay. So that's good. Okay, my life is not that exciting, so let's move on to other fun things. As you can see, I'm in a new space. This is my office. This is where I work every day. I work from home. I'm lucky enough to be able to work from home and have been working from home for the past 7 years now, 7 or 8 years. So this is my office. I decorate it seasonally, so I'm slowly transitioning it to spring, although the walls stayed these colors. This is like an aqua blue and this is a purple, although I think it's reading pink on the camera, but this is like a lavender purple. My husband gave me some shiitake. I see you, baby. Yeah, you gave me some shiitake for being downstairs in the living room twice with that pink background. He said I needed to switch it up. So that's one reason I'm up here. The other reason is we live in a condo complex, and the neighbors next door and their kid are banging around and they're really loud. Their neighbor, their kid, and their dog, they're all getting wild because it's so cold out. I mean, it's 0 degrees out right now, so there's a little bit of cabin fever setting in, and so the kid is, real loud. So that's why I'm up here. You can't hear him up here, but when you go downstairs, I was afraid that you guys would hear him and then I would get annoyed. So I just moved up here. So we'll see. If it works up here, then this is where I stay. If not, we'll go downstairs. But I wanted to show you a haul that I've gotten. As I mentioned before, February is my birthday month. I don't celebrate it all month. But my stepmom very kindly got me a gift card for 123 Stitch, which I'll link 123 Stitch in the description below, so don't worry about that. That's not something you need to remember right now. But 123 Stitch is a cross-stitching but also a quilting one-stop shop, and so very generously gave me a gift card, and so I went shopping because, as I've said before, I love it. I love quilting and cross-stitching, so I want to show you what I got. So I'm going to start with the fabric Ada first. So I got a handful. So this first one is an 8 by 12 piece of fabric. It is, I guess that's considered a 1/16 of a yard. It is 14 count Ada, and it's called Crystal Splash. And it's, I don't know if you can, if the camera is picking up, but it's shimmery. It's got glitter in there, or I don't think it's got like thrown on glitter, but the fabric has glitter woven in somehow. There's some sort of glitter fabric in there. So it's a very small piece. It's not very big, but I'm excited to use. I actually don't remember buying this piece, but hey, why not? Who doesn't love glitter? I mean, I do. Look at my room. The next one I got is, this is a 15 by 18 inch piece of fabric. This is, again, 14 count Ada. I like Ada because it doesn't bend. If I took this out of the package, it would stand straight up. That's just my personal preference. This is a black. I've never used this stitched on a black before. I never have. I've heard mixed reviews. Either you love it or you don't. Seems to be the general consensus. The reasons why people don't like it, it seems, is because, from what I've read, is that it's very hard to see the holes. So 14 count Ada means per inch, and I use my knuckle because why not? Per inch, there are 14 holes, for lack of a better word. There are 14 holes per inch. So this is one of the bigger fabrics. There's like a 10 count Ada, which means every inch there are 10 holes. So that would mean the X's would be a lot bigger. There's also 34 count Ada, which means that per inch there are 34 holes, which means the X's would be a lot smaller. And then I think there's 40 count Ada. I mean, it's Ada is just the fabric, but I'm talking but there are lots of different other types of fabric. Ada is like the stiff kind. There are other, I just don't know their names because I don't really use anything other than Ada. I like the stiffness, and I like the 14 count because I like to be able to see the holes. I don't want to buy another pair of glasses. These are for distance, and I don't need glasses when I'm stitching on 14 count Ada. Other people might. There's no shame there. But I just find with 14 count, it's the perfect size for me to be able to see what I'm doing. If you like a smaller 30 count, which means smaller holes, that is totally fine. But you might need reader glasses, you might need a magnifying glass, you might need a special light. Really, whatever it takes for you to stitch is perfectly fine. But so this is black 14 count Ada. I will let you know how it goes because I've never used this before, so we'll see if I'm the hate it or I'm the love it group. Okay, this is again 14 count Ada. I don't know if it's coming off. Let me compare it to white. So this is like a sea foam green 14 count, and this is a white. So, oh yeah, you can, I think you can tell here. This one is white. This is sea foam up at the top. So there is a difference, but it's subtle. It's very subtle. And this is not a green that I think I would be, I don't think I would be able to get this when I'm dyeing it here myself. So I picked up this sea foam just to see what it would be. It's a good spring color, a good Easter color. It's a little sea foam, a little pastel, so I think this would be nice. I got two whites, just 14 count white, nothing fancy, but I got two of them so that I could either choose to leave them white or I could dye them a different color. So we'll see. I mean, I like color, so that's probably what I'm gonna do with them. And then I want to get, this is the last one, but I'm gonna do like I did before. So I don't know if you can quite tell. I'm just putting them on a chair behind me. This is maybe like this. This is a pink up top, and then this is the white down below. So I don't know, maybe like that. It is a very light pink, and the pink has also some sort of glitter fabric in there, and this one is called Iridescent. So Iridescent Ada. So I think this will be really fun for spring. This would be, I mean, it's a little late, but this would be fun for Valentine's Day. But I think spring, Easter would be really, really lovely. If I can, I'll try and link all of these in the description below. But if not, I will definitely link 123 Stitch so that you can peruse and shop. I'm doing this all from my phone, so I don't know how easy that will be, but we'll see. Next, I got myself 2 project bags, exactly the same. I just didn't open them. But I'll show you this one. This has a clear plastic window so that I can put the items, my cross stitch patterns in here, and then see what I'm looking at and know which one it is just by looking at it. I don't like to have more than 1 to 2 projects going at a time, because for me, my brain, if I have more than 2, I get really overwhelmed, and I just look at all of the things that I have, and then I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I'm just overwhelmed, and then I go read because I can't handle it. And that's kind of what I'm doing right now with my quilting. I mean, my Brother machine is out of commission. That's my free motion machine. She's out of commission right now, so that doesn't help. But I have a handful of quilts that I need to get done, and there's so many. I have the tops, or I've got part of it done, and I just am feeling overwhelmed and I don't know what to do. So I'm just cross stitching, you know, so, or I go to read in the afternoon and I don't quilt because I'm so overwhelmed. So I'm hoping if I stick to just these 2 and only put 2 projects at a time, I won't be overwhelmed. I'll be able to get all my items onto Etsy every single week, 1 item a week, and then work ahead. So I am actually 3 weeks ahead in projects, but I only upload 1 item at a time each and every week so that I don't get overwhelmed and so that you all don't get overwhelmed as well, because yeah, it's just not my thing. Next, I bought two of these, one small, this is small, and then giant self-stick mounting boards. You can find these on Amazon. I just happened to get them on 123 Stitch. They're 1 each, and you cut them and you put the project, the cross stitch project, words are hard today, guys, on them, and it just gives a sharper edge to your project. In my first video I told you I use cardboard. That's just what I have around. I have chewy boxes from the orders that I get from my pet's medication, so I just happen to have chewy boxes around, and they work just fine. But these are really expensive for me. Other people, they're within their price range. These are really expensive for me, so I thought, what better way? I have an opportunity to get a few. I got a few with a gift card, and then I'll let you know which ones have which when I finish them. This is just a ruler. It's a 6x12 Omni Grip ruler. It's a non-slip ruler. I use this for quilting. I don't know, let's see. It has angles on it, which for me are really helpful if I'm doing, especially for quilting, triangle shapes. If I cut the fabric into triangle shapes, it's got more than just this shape. I just can't show it. I have nothing, you know. So it's got a bunch of different angles on it, which will be helpful quilting because I like to do triangles a lot. Oh, so I got some floss drops. They're what my floss goes onto. I wrap the floss around it. So this is a 28 pack. And then these are quilt labels. Yeah, I don't normally label my quilts, but I thought, well, this is a great opportunity to start doing it. There are just a handful in each, nothing fancy. But if you made a pillow with your cross stitch project, which a lot of people do, you could put a label on the back if you wanted to, but you don't have to. I have never made a pillow before with my cross stitch, so that might be something to do in 2025. I also got a bunch of floss. I got some variegated floss, some pinks and green and orange variegated, and then some solids, which again, I will link 123 Stitch in the description box below. They do offer a wide variety of floss. If you really want specific colors, I think they're a great option, but I will also link a kind of, I don't like the word generic, but like a generic starter kit, as it were, for floss, in case you just want a basic kind of solid colors, you know, of the rainbow, red to black, Roy G. Biv and black, just to get started. If you're brand new to cross stitching and you're like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what floss to get, I will link it in the description box below, just off of Amazon, just a beginner, not too expensive. Amazon, I'll link Amazon's and I'll link Michael's as well, because they have, it varies, the color varies a little bit. But remember, if you get, let's just say you go onto 123 Stitch and you pick colors that you like and you get them back and you find a pattern and you're like, man, these don't, the pattern says I need these colors, but I have these. It's totally fine. You can change, as long as you remember what is what, you can make your pattern look however you want with whatever floss you want. You know, if it calls for a green but you want a blue, make it a blue. It is your house, your rules, you're doing it. If it makes you happy, just do it. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. It doesn't matter what the pattern is. It's perfectly fine. There's no cross stitch police to come and say you didn't follow the rules. That's ridiculous. It doesn't matter. And I'll show you what I mean, because I have one of my patterns that I want to show you that you could do different colors with. And finally, with this haul, I got some quilt stuff. So I got batik fabric charm squares. Charm squares are just 5-inch squares, 42 of them. And batiks is a style of printing the color on the fabric itself. Everything is hand dyed to a certain extent, and the designs that you see are all hand done, and then it's a big process. Anyways, this isn't a quilted channel, so I won't go into it, but I just wanted to show you. I've got some charm squares that are batiks. I got a Christmas panel. This is called Home Sweet Holidays panel. The white, there was a black version too, and it just meant the wood grain was darker wood grain on the other one, but that's what that looks like right there, if you want to pause and get it. It's got cardinals on it. Let me see if I can open it and show you what this looks like. Yeah, so it's just a panel. That's the front. This is the other half. So, you know, I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know. I might just leave it as a panel, just as is. Might cut it up. Who knows? You know, it's Christmassy, so I don't normally do Christmas stuff until around Christmas, or what is known as Christmas in July, which is like the halfway point of the year. So people like to do that as well. And then I got, I think this is 1 yard of Home Sweet Home Holidays, which goes with this. It's part of the series, I guess, and it's just cardinals. So that's all this is. So I want to border this panel with the cardinals. So I think that'll be really nice. And then lastly, if you know me at all, which I hope you guys will, you will know that I have 2 cats, and one of them is getting into mischief right down there as we speak. Hey, good Lord, he's just eating something. But I love cats, and anything kind of cat related, I'm in love. So I found this layer cake or 10-inch square pack. There are, I believe, 42? I can't remember, in a layer cake. But it's called Here Kitty Kitty by Stacy Itsu. So this is a motor fabric. And it's got cats all over it. And it comes in different colors, different it's not all this pattern. Again, if you're new to cross stitch or quilting, it's not just this. It's got various colors, different designs. You get a couple of the same one, but really like 2 or 3. And so when you put it together, this is a collection, so when you put it together, it makes something really pretty. So yeah, I got this. I'm not quite sure what I'm gonna do with it. I might just leave them like, it's got some directions on the back. You can just leave them as is and quilt them together. I could cut them into triangles if I wanted to, make circles perhaps. I don't really like doing circles, to be honest. So I don't know, we'll see. But this will be some weekend adventure, you know, if my husband has gone away to do his filming work. Oh yeah, you can see my cat. There he is, down at the bottom. That little white ball of fluff, that's Shadowfax. And I have a tripod, a 3-legged cat. His name is Tear. In addition to the gift card to 123 Stitch, my stepmom also sent me 300 floss drops, which is absolutely amazing. You can never have enough floss drops, in my opinion. There are so many colors out there, you know, it does not hurt to have more than what I have. So I'm super excited about that. And just to show you how many colors there are, she also sent me this. I'm absolutely in love with this because these can be a little, I don't know if they're hard to come by. I don't know what year this is, but it is DMC. So DMC is a brand of, it's a company that creates the floss. It's a company that creates this. There are a lot of other companies out there. I just prefer DMC. That's just what I like. But if you like something else, totally fine. But they've got, so she got me this. Trying to get the circle out. And if I open it up, it's a color chart and it's real. It's real floss. Like you can feel it and it's real. And it just shows all the color variations. Is there another one? Yeah. So it's absolutely lovely. There are loads. And it's absolutely lovely because I work on a computer, and when you, well, I hope you guys have this, but when you're on a computer, you really should be either having blue light blocking glasses, which I do, and I also set my monitors, because I have 2 screens, to have, you know, night light, which means the level of blue light is dropped down. I have a Mac, so that's what it is on a Mac. A PC I'm not sure about, but because of that, everything, the color is off on my computer. And so having this and being able to see, it's laid out really nicely with the numbers, so I can find them in the program and I can see, is that really the color that I want to go for? Because once it's off of the computer, or when I see it in real life and look at the colors, sometimes I'm like, oh, that didn't go well together. And then, you know, I just pick a color that it should have been. But this is really helpful so that I can be more accurate when I'm putting colors together. Yeah, blue light is nice, but it does mess up the color combinations and the way you view colors. It's not as real because there's a yellowy tint to it. So yeah, so thank you for buying, for the gift cards and these beautiful things, because they're very, very helpful. So I really appreciate that. And Lastly, I want to show you guys a few things of what's in the works, what I've done, and what's new on the Etsy page. So first, I can't remember if this is the second iteration and the second time me doing this video, so I can't remember if I used this already. But in the second video, I showed you guys this. And this is Welsh Love Spoon. Welsh Love Spoons are given in Wales. You know, if you just got married or for an anniversary, sometimes for a birthday. I have a few from my aunt and uncle's wedding. They had them as, what do you call them? You give them as gifts for people to take home, you know, at the wedding. Savers, gift savers? I don't know. Anyways, they were given as gifts, so I have two. So I decided to create one, but I had a really, really light pink and a really, really light green, and it wasn't reading right. Even on the fabric, I thought, I have to redo this whole thing and pick it out. And I decided, no, I'm not gonna pick it out. What I did was I just stitched on top of it. And I just did one stitch on top of the existing color that was there. And I did a darker pink and a darker green. And I think it pops a little bit better. I like it more. So I wanted to show you that, like, if you decide a color doesn't work, you can always change it. Nobody's gonna say you're wrong. There's no floss police, so do you, boo. And so remember when I was talking about if you have colors, if you got like a basic starter kit with the generic colors or the colors on a color wheel, you know, and you get a pattern, either, again, there's no obligation to buy from me on my Etsy shop, but if you find a pattern somewhere that you really like, but you don't like the colors, if you just like the pattern itself and you're like, this would fit in my home decor, this fits my aesthetic, this, you know, whatever, it's me to a T, and you decide, I only have, let's say, these colors, and it calls for something else, that's fine. And I wanted to show you, like, this is a pattern on my Etsy right now, and it's a pink heart with, you know, little hearts, and there is white in it. If you're like, I'm not a pink person, and this is in the Valentine section, if you're like, I like the hearts, I really enjoy what this looks like, but I'm not a pink person, this is just not it, I'm not into it, I like, it doesn't even matter, let's say green. Maybe you want to celebrate St. Patrick's Day and you want a green heart instead. You can buy the pattern, again, it doesn't have to be my pattern, this is just an example, but you can buy the pattern and decide, I want it to be green, and you just use green floss. Or all you have is, I don't know, red, make it red. Do whatever you want. You can change the colors however you want, because if this is going in your home, then it's for you. If this is something that you think a friend would enjoy, but their color palette is orange, make it orange. You know, just because the color is called for in the pattern, that doesn't mean you have to go with that. You can make it however you want. So I just wanted to show you this as an example, and I keep envisioning this in green because we're coming into spring, and we're coming around to St. Patrick's Day. We've got Mardi Gras coming up, so you could do Mardi Gras colors, green, purple, and yellow. So, you know, you could change out the white that's in here for a yellow or whatever you want to do. You can make it your own, and make it mean something to you. So I just wanted to point that out. So let's put this to the side. Lastly, I wanted to, for like what's new here and what I've done, last video I showed the yellow turmeric fabric 14 count Aida, and I'm gonna do a cross stitch pattern, or not going to. I have a cross stitch pattern to commemorate my time when I was in India in November, and I didn't have much progress, but I do have a little bit more. So this is supposed to be the Ganges River, and these are monkeys. They're supposed to be monkeys. My husband says they look like cats. Well, just squint your eyes a little bit. They're monkeys. If you squint your eyes, turn your head, they're monkeys. So I'm gonna have boats above the Ganges, like 1, 2, 3, I think, boats, and then above that 3 elephants, and then above that the Taj Mahal is going to be up here, and then fireworks on the top. So it's one of the biggest pieces I've ever made, and this is, you know, I've been looking at this going, oh, I need to get it done, I need to get it done, and then I get a little overwhelmed because it is so big. So this is one of the pieces that are going to go in the project bags to hopefully get me motivated and to remember, like, you got to do this, and also to keep my stuff organized. That's a challenge. Lastly, I want to show, let me see, I need to, 1 second, it's a hefty thing, hold on. Okay, I'm back. So I added, oh, it's so big. So I put this pattern on Etsy. I put it on Etsy this week. You'll notice the flowers are in the picture. I have this here because I have another pattern that's under here for St. Patrick's Day, kind of in this Marchy theme, March being the month of March theme, but I don't want you to see it yet because it's not on Etsy yet. So I covered it up with my notes for today. So this is on the Etsy shop now. This is a prime example of color choice. So I chose, this is a Celtic knot inspired, knot being K-N-O-T, Celtic knot, and it's green and black. However, if you like the Celtic knot, but green and black is not in your color wheel or not part of the colors in your house, make it be whatever color you want. You can do pink and black, you can do green and white, you can replace the black with white. Really, you can do whatever you want. If you don't want black, you do whatever. If you don't like the green either, go for something that you want. Again, on the theme of Mardi Gras, you can make it blue and purple, I think is Mardi Gras, or, you know, whatever you want. And also, if you like, you can make it bigger by doubling, so instead of 5 to 4, 5, you can do 10 of them. So you can make this bigger if you want, to make more of a visual impact. So you would just start over again next to it or above it, or you can do as many as you want to make a visual impact. But again, you can change it to be whatever you want. You can make them all different colors, meaning that's one color, another color, another color, another, you know, maybe they represent your family. You can do all of those, you know, whatever you want to do. So this is just something I got at an antique shop. It is a picture frame. This is this is just cardboard wrapped in white fabric, and there is a I don't know if you can see, there's a hole down there to slide whatever the picture might be behind it. So I just wrapped cardboard in white fabric and shoved it down the back. And so I've been using it to put my cross stitch, just literally putting pins in it because it's cardboard, so you can pin whatever you want in. And I take pins and hold up my cross stitch and put it on this. So you gotta make it work. So yeah, so let me just put that down. Pop up like Kendrick Lamar. So that is on the Etsy shop right now, along with this heart one. If you choose, you can look at it. Again, there's absolutely no obligation to buy. I'm just happy that you're here. I'm happy that you're having conversations with me, happy that you're looking and enjoying what I'm putting out. So that's all I have for today. This second round of filming. Whew, I am ready for a nap at this point. Again, if you are returning to my channel, I really appreciate you coming here, spending your afternoon and day with me. If you're new to my channel, I want to say thank you again for being here, taking the time out of your busy schedule to just, you know, be in this community. There are tons of other really awesome YouTube Flosstube creators out there. I am not the only one, so check them out if you haven't already. And like I said before, look out in the description. I will have 1, 2, 3 stitch there. I will also make sure to include, you know, a floss pack, kind of a starter kit from Amazon as well as Michael's, just to get you going. I'll also link a few, you know, 14 count Ada as well off of Amazon, Michael's. I'll see if I can find one from 1, 2, 3 Stitch, a direct link, but if not, just know that they do have them on 1, 2, 3 Stitch as well, so that if you are new or you don't know where to go, or you want to try cross stitching, you'll have a place to go to be successful, because that's what we want to see, is everybody being successful. So again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, spending your time with me. If you like the video, I hate to say it, but I have to say it, give a like, give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I really appreciate it. It would help my channel grow and build this community that we have together. So have a good evening, have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.